Morning, it's day 19. We're already faced with a huge climb, so I'm not gonna record as I walk because I'm gonna be walking up the equivalent of a staircase for a while. It's supposed to rain later today, but last night the reports were saying between 12 and 2. Now my Garmin weather report says not till 6 p.m. So it'd be awesome if I can get into camp and get set up before the rain hits. But we've already had a couple of light drizzles this morning. Not really much at all, but some drops. I've got either 9 miles to Brown Fork Shelter or like 12 miles to a tent site, Cody Gap. Just the more miles I put in today, the less I'll have tomorrow into Fontana, which is preferable. And just kind of a cloudy, hazy, at least they're high clouds, they're not low. Sun's kind of peeking through a little bit right there, but no stars last night. All right, I'm gonna turn off for a while. Here we are. All right, climb to the top of Bald. And this is, let's see, to the south, I'm guessing? Let me check. Predominantly south, kind of south-southeast. If you take the center line of the view. Oh man, that was a good climb. We're on top of Mount Possible. Kind of a cool name. I don't remember seeing that on the map. But Mount Possible. It's a nice day. It's in that it's a little bit overcast with a little bit of sun peeking through here and there. But much cooler than yesterday. The sunlight being kind of filtered through the clouds like this gives everything kind of a silvery color, I think. It's interesting how much the lighting affects the mood. It's looking like a true architect. We're descending to Cody Gap, and I don't know if you can hear it or not, but there's a rather large construction project going on down there. I don't know if they're widening the road or something like that, repaving it perhaps, but there's a lot of construction noise. I just came down the trail right there to Cody Gap, and it is under some massive construction behind. I'm not sure where the AT comes out on the other side. We get to walk down the trail, down the road a little bit to get back in the woods. Anyway, Big Tuna was waiting at the gap here, and he offered to go get us both water while I eat lunch or whatever. So the water's a quarter mile that way, so I'm grateful to that. Good grief. Yeah, hey, there's kind of a view back that way, isn't there? So I just climbed what I guess might be Jacob's Ladder. I'd have to look on like an old AWOL guide and see what they're calling it, because none of that stuff's called out on Far Out anymore, but it was half a mile or 0.4 depending on where you start counting at 27% grade. So that makes it comparable to Albert Mountain in both in length and grade. 27%, so that's pretty darn steep. Except it was all path and switchback and some like split log stairs, but mostly path. The last little bit was switchback, which made it gentler. Most of it was just running straight up a kind of ridge line. So that one goes down as memorable. There's a view down to the construction site. That is Cody Gap Road. You can still hear the machinery faintly. Just did a privy stop at Brown Fork Shelter. I'm going to press on 3 more miles to Cody Gap, I think. The wind has been whipping around. This little gap right here is protected. Once we're up on the AT Ridge, it's right in the blast of it. Hopefully we'll get to camp with time to spare to set up before any rain hits. We're on a little summit with a view to the northish. That should be Fontana Lake right there. Oh, 2 miles to go. It's nice and windy up here. At Cody Gap, it's starting to spit a little rain. Cold wind is blowing. I'm going to try to get set up as fast as I can if I can find a spot. There's going to be at least 2 other campers here tonight. One's already set up over there. Headed down to the claimed water source. It says it's an unreliable spring, but if we get enough rain in the last few weeks, I hope it's flowing. Otherwise, I'll be eating dry tortillas for dinner and making my pasta for lunches in the coming days. As soon as I got to camp, I set up my tarp. But that's all so far. I need to get water and do my bear hang. In case it starts raining harder, I want to get those jobs done, and then I can set up my hammock under the tarp. Okay, I see the water area, almost there. Looks like water has seeped out of the ground there. It goes under the path here, and it's making noises that suggest there's some little flow and waterfalls here and there. Hopefully enough to push a bottle under. I don't know what those are. All right, I found one that's gonna work, I believe, right here. This valley sure is pretty and kind of peaceful, but it's starting to rain harder, so I need to do less talking and more doing.